Most of the things that are restoration, it's fire and water.
A couple of pieces replaces. That's probably something you could do.
Yeah. I mean,
but if the whole deck burned down, they need a whole new deck.
That's not a restoration. That's a construction.
Who we have here today is someone that I happen to meet. I met Brett here at Rod's house. We're at Rod's house on the deck, Superior Cedar and Deck Restoration. He's been doing this for over 30 years. He's had his own company for over 27. He had some interesting thoughts about marketing because he's in a very particular segment. And I just wanted to sit down and have a conversation with Brett to find out about the challenges of having a segment of business that no one seems to recognize, I guess would be the way to put it. So let's dive in and talk about it.
Well, it's frustrating because none of the advertisers have a category that I actually fit in.
Have ever fit in. So you're at, your marketing predates pretty much the internet, right? You were probably a Yellow Page.
I was Yellow Pages, Yellow Book. I started in and was with them until 2007. I got on a lot of business listings, the free listings online, but everyone has me listed as a painter or a power washer, and there's no category for cedar restoration or exterior wood maintenance or anything like that.
Yeah, so you were expressing some frustration because you'd be listening to category and you'd be getting phone calls like, I need my vinyl sided house power washer. And you're like, yeah, I don't do that.
Right. I mean, I
so you're spending money marketing and you're getting leads, but these aren't your customers.
Exactly. I can wash a vinyl sided house, but it's not what I do.
Right.
It's just frustrating not being able to have a place to put my company where it fits.
What is it that they're looking for typically when they call you up and ask you, hey, are you the right guy? Or do you get those kinds of phone calls?
They ask if I wash and stain decks or wash and seal decks, one or the other.
Okay, so they're looking for somebody to do the wash and the seal.
Right.
And we were talking earlier, the power washer that you use for a deck is completely different than what you'd use for probably vinyl siding and maybe even different from what you'd use for, say, concrete, right?
Well, the concrete is typically a heavy-duty 4,000 PSI, that's pounds per square inch of force, where a deck, they don't recommend anything over, for a homeowner, they recommend probably 1,500 PSI. For someone that knows how to use a power washer, you can go up to 2,000, 2,500 and be pretty safe.
Or you'd be like Kirk and use a 3,000 PSI deck washer, and then you got all these lines on your wood.
You can make lines. You can raise the grain of the wood. Some wood you'll actually peel layers off of.
And what does raising the grain end up doing? Is that harmful to your deck then?
It's harmful to your feet. If you go out barefoot, you're going to have a lot of splinters.
Right. It's not a good idea if you don't know what you're doing.
It doesn't make a deck look real good.
Right. So for the DIYers out there, it's like you got to have some, I guess, trigger control. And
the secret to washing wood is the power washer is a power rinser. You want to use a cleaner that does the work, and the washer is only to rinse.
So really, you could almost get by with just a little nozzle. Or is that powerful enough?
Every chemical I use for washing will tell you that you don't need a power washer. You can put it on and use a scrub brush and rinse it with a garden hose.
Right.
The power washer takes the scrubbing part out and it rinses much faster.
And so for you, it's just a matter of speed. Because you're doing this is your business. You want to get in, do the job right, and get out as fast as you can because it's
with a power washer, I can do 3 decks a day. With a scrub brush and a garden hose, I'd be lucky to do 1 whole deck.
Or maybe a half a deck.
Yeah.
You'd only be able to do 1 job every 2 days, whereas in 2 days you could get 6 jobs done.
Exactly.
So it really helps out. And you're doing it, this is your daily, this is what
8
you do.
8 months of the year. So if I'm lucky, 8 months. On some years, it's 7 months, because when the temperature's below 50, I can't put stain on a deck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's even bound by temperature.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is there an upper temperature range as well?
They say 90, or some say 95, but I don't really follow that as much.
It's not as critical as the cold. What's the process that the cold prevents the stain from doing?
Well, I'm using an oil, which a big mistake a lot of people do today is they go and look for the number one stain. And of course, the number one stain is at the biggest hardware store, and the biggest hardware store is Home Depot. So they get to say Behr stain is number one. Behr has paid me thousands of dollars to strip their garbage off people's deck and put an oil in, because their stuff, it sits on the surface and peels and flakes, and it's just not a good product.
Not good product for cedar, or not good product for wood in general?
It's not a good product for anything in general besides Home Depot, because they make money. Anything that leaves a coating on wood, and wood, if everybody knows wood expands and contracts. You put a coating on the wood. When the wood expands and contracts, you get little splits in there and water gets underneath it, and you're pretty much ruined your wood. You put an oil in the wood and it expands and contracts with the wood. It's not a coating covering the wood.
I'm not an expert in paint, but I know I have a concrete deck around my pool.
Yeah.
And the owner decided to paint it and used I think the builder had painted it as well.
Yeah.
Used like probably the right sort of kind of paint, the type of paint.
Right.
And the homeowner that had it before I bought it put a paint on there, and all it did was peel.
Yeah.
Took me freaking forever with a power washer and the little 3 spray rotator thing. Just little by little chemicals and the power washer chemicals, and the power washer finally got it stripped down to the bare concrete. And I went to Sherwin-Williams actually to talk to them on what do I put on this to make sure that never happens. They go, oh, it peeled because you didn't put the right kind of paint.
Yeah.
Probably the same situation with wood. You don't put the right product on there, it's not going to hear properly.
Preparation makes a big difference too. You know, you're supposed to, like this deck, I use a cleaner that breaks the seal. So when I put the next coating on, it'll penetrate in. Paint is similar. If you don't prep the surface, if you're painting over paint,
and it's not the right kind of paint that melds into the old layer.
Even if it's the right kind of paint, if you're painting over
dirt, I would call that contamination, right?
Yeah, yeah. But a paint layer is only as good as, you can use the best quality paint on top, but if the paint underneath is garbage, then your top quality paint is now garbage.
Based on the preparation.
Yeah.
And the contamination that you can have.
Right.
So is that a big part of it? What you do is it's clean. It's just making sure it's clean, stripping out the seal layer so that you can penetrate deeper.
Yeah, the cleaner I use is it's not a stripper, because with the sealer I use, they make a cleaner that's designed to break the seal on their product. It also takes out impurities, like when Rod drips grease from his barbecue, this will pull the grease out and get it out of the wood.
Okay.
So yeah, you have to have it cleaned and prepared properly to be able to have the.
So what's the longevity of, say, because you just did this, right?
I did this last year.
And how long should this last? Since you did all
if Rod didn't have a big dog, it would last a lot longer. But typically, the horizontal surfaces are going to last 2 to 3 years. Vertical on the rail will probably last 4 to 6 years.
Oh, okay. So as a homeowner planning to do maintenance, you're going to have to do your horizontal surfaces, which would be, I guess, the horizontal on the rails,
the top of the handrail, and the floors.
And the floor, and that's going to save quite a bit of money on your maintenance. Over a 6-year period, you're going to end up doing the horizontals twice, and then everything else once.
Right. The floor is going to look great, but then the rails are 2 years old or 3 years old, however long they waited.
Just let it age 3 or 4 years and do it every maybe 4 years, the whole thing.
I tell people if they want to do the floor and the handrail themselves, I'll tell them how to clean it and recoat it. And when you're ready to do the whole deck, give me a call.
Okay.
I'll go in and do it for a good customer. I'll go in and do the floor, and I'll tell them, I'll remind them that I don't like doing halfway, but I'll do it for them. So
they call you every so many years.
Right.
I guess over 27-year business, you probably have quite a few repeat customers.
I've got several that have been with me since the early 2000s.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so do you do like an email or a postcard to those existing customers you've had over the years to remind them, hey, maybe it's time to reseal your deck? Or
I used to have a database that I would if I didn't hear from somebody in 3 years, a repeat customer. I didn't do it for new ones because new ones, a lot of them are people that are calling you to come do the job so they can sell the house and they're not even there anymore. So my repeat customers, I might give them a call and say, hey, you haven't had this done for a couple of years. Are you ready? But typically I go in and I do a job and I stay out of people's hair and don't do anything anymore. I let them call me.
And so back to the quandary is for the existing customer, I guess they somewhat maybe remember, oh yeah, that was Superior.
Well,
and they go look
I'm
for
pretty
you.
unforgettable, so.
You're pretty unforgettable.
I do a really good job. I care about my work. I guarantee my work. If there's a problem, I go back and fix my work, which is why in 30 years, I don't have any complaints online. I don't have any issues. Because
but how does somebody new find you? Like, I want to make sure I get a good person to come out and seal my.
Probably 75% of my work is word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when somebody like a Yelp comes by and says, hey, for so many dollars, I'm going to get you some business. How does that work for you?
I did Google AdWords years ago and it worked fantastic. And I was paying $1.25 a click or something. And I had to turn it off because I had too much work.
Mm-hmm. They're pushing your schedule out. Like, oh, I can't get to you for the next 3 months because I'm booked.
I had my whole year booked in 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
so the Google AdWords work, but that's maybe not true today, or?
I didn't have to do it again for 3 or 4 years. And then when I went to do it again, they said, oh, we're going to have our expert help you set it up. He's like, oh, yeah, you're going to get a lot more business. And this was when I was thinking about hiring, having employees, expanding, and
having some crews.
Right. So I'm like, okay, this'll really give me a good head start. Their expert set it up, and I was getting calls or emails from France and Germany, and I had it 7 or 8 different countries.
You're ranking really high for France. That's helping you out.
My first month bill came. It's pay-per-click, right?
Right.
This guy set my images on these pages that were just pictures. You didn't even see business names, or they were just filled with images. And if somebody clicked on a picture of a log home that I stained, I got charged for the click. Per click cost had gone up from whatever, $1.25 to $5.50 or something. My first bill from them was like $12,000 for 1 month.
For 1 month.
I don't think I got one lead.
Wow.
And I refused to pay him. I found my images on these pages and I'm like, I don't do work in France and Germany and all of these other countries. I said, this was your expert.
Maybe he was on commission.
Yeah. And
I'll get you clicks.
They let me go and they offered, I don't remember, $400 in advertising or something, which at $5 a click and not knowing where the clicks are coming from, I said, yeah. I don't know. Apparently with Yelp, the more keywords you have, the cheaper the per click rate is. I'm not sure how it works, but he told me you're better off targeting with just a couple keywords and paying extra and just getting the customers that want you. The guy set it up for me, and 1 month the bill was $800 something or something, and 50% of the people that called me wanted me to build a deck or put on a new roof, and it just wasn't people.
Mm-hmm.
I think in 2 months, and it was $1,300, I think I got 2 jobs out of it. And I think I made around $1,500 or $1,600.
So you're working for Yelp.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, yeah, okay.
You're paying Yelp so you can work for them.
It's just ridiculous. And I just went through this 2 days ago with Yelp called and the guys doing the pressure sales to get me to sign back up. And I'm listed under deck and rail. What is deck and rail?
Building decks.
Yeah. So I'm listed under deck and rail and I'm listed under power washing. I got off the phone with the guy and a few hours later I get a text from a guy saying, yeah, I wanted you to come out and do my deck and rail. And I'm like, well, what do you want me to do to your deck and rail? He says, oh, I want you to build it. Take out the old deck and put in a new one. And I said, well, I don't build decks. Is it coincidence that I just got off the phone with Yelp with their deck and rail and this guy's texting me? I'm like,
so there's no real category for
no
cedar restoration,
no
deck restoration,
no restoration. It's a maintenance. I mean,
right.
If you have a deck, you need to maintain
I could see
it.
even if you had a category of restoration, you'd probably get a lot of incorrect referrals as well, because maybe they want you to restore their old car.
Well,
restore their chimney on their house.
Most of the things that are restoration, it's fire and water.
Okay.
In a house, if you see restoration,
right, and that it's not you either.
It's not.
I mean, maybe if somebody had some, the charcoal grill went a little out of control, and they need some replacements of some of the floors, a couple of pieces replaces. That's probably something you could do.
Yeah. I mean,
but if the whole deck burned down, they need a whole new deck.
That's not a restoration. That's a construction for sure.
Right.
Now I can reskin decks where you take all the floor off and put a new floor on. I can build new rails. I can put in nice aluminum rails that you don't have to stain. When it comes to the structure and pouring piers, I just don't get involved. I call my buddy that's a general contractor, and he'll build the deck.
Right. And then I guess does he at least bring you back in to do the seal job on it?
He seals a lot of the decks he builds, but he'll do it when he builds it. But in 3 years, when it needs to be sealed again, he'll give him my number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have a nice relationship there.
Yeah. We're good because I send him the jobs that I can't do that he can, and vice versa.
Okay. What about marketing that? I mean, maybe building more business to business relationships that you guys could be referral partners?
Well, him and we do that without thinking about it. And
I'm sure, but like an active marketing, whether that's an email or a direct mail, and you're going out to all these deck and rail companies or general contractors that do deck and rail and saying, hey, by the way, I do.
The issue is most people that want referrals or you want referrals, they're expecting a kickback, and I just don't. I don't deal with all of that. I give my customers a fair price. I would have to raise their price to be giving referral fees out to this builder and that builder.
What about Angie's List? Have you tried that? Is that?
God, no.
Oh,
Angie's List, they're the worst.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, Angie's List, when they started, I was
all in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, advertising that only the customers controlled. I was a business owner for years before Angie's List started. And when they started, I couldn't put my name on Angie's List. Only a customer. If I stained your deck, you could put me on Angie's List.
Okay.
The customer paid a subscription to be a member of Angie's List, and companies could only
Brett, because he did such a great job.
Right. So when I had my first customer put me on Angie's List, I was excited. And then a few years later, Angie's List is calling me saying, hey, if you give us some money, we'll make sure you're on the first page of Angie's List. And I'm like, I thought you guys were customer based. Why are you asking me for money? Don't your customers pay you a subscription? And I said, yeah. And I'm like, well, do your customers know that you're taking money from both ends now? I said, let me know after your customers, after you apologize to them, then call me and we'll talk. And they call, but I won't talk to them anymore. They're just not honest,
Right. I had a question there about that. So I guess you're not listed in Angie's List, or you still are, or you don't even know?
Oh, I'm listed. I can still log into my account, but I won't advertise. I won't give them money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not Angie's List anymore. They're Angie. When they were Angie's List in the beginning, I was real excited to be a part of them. And today,
It's all a money grab.
yeah, I mean, they're no better than Yelp or Google AdWords or any of the other paid.
Sounds like you've thought about this a lot. Like how do you focus on, say, word of mouth and build that? Because you said that's the bulk of your business.
I started my business doing direct mail on postcards.
Okay.
I had someone in real estate that would print out addresses from subdivisions for me, and I'd pay him to do that. And I'd buy I don't remember, back then they were like 11-cent stamps or something that you could do on a postcard. And I paid my sisters to help me put labels and stamps on, and I'd do 600 or 800 a month.
Have you looked at? They have a thing. I don't know how new it is, but it's called Every Door Delivery, EDDM.
I haven't really looked into advertising at all, besides Yelp a year or two ago when I did that.
Because I'm curious about your business. Like, I know with lawn care, they have a route, right? They're coming out on a regular basis. But I'm wondering, do you also look at route when you're scheduling your jobs? Like, am I going to have to go from Wentzville to Afton to Wood River to Hazelwood? I mean, if you said you do 3 a day, but if you're having to drive to Wentzville to Wood River to Afton, I mean, you're going to spend, you're maybe only doing 2, right?
I make my schedule on the weekend, and I look at what jobs are on the books, and I will pick the ones that are closest together for the week.
Okay.
I'll usually try to do 4 or 5 decks a week, or 1 cedar house.
There are a lot of cedar houses in St. Louis?
Not as many as I'd like.
Yeah.
But they take about a week, 6 to 8 days to get them washed, the caulking repaired, bird holes fixed from the woodpeckers, and a new seal put on.
So you're not doing anything right now?
Advertising?
Yeah.
No.
No marketing, no advertising. You have a website?
Well, that's it. Building a new one too. So it's
you doing it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you doing it in?
Replit.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's kind of hardcore.
Well,
Vibe programming. You're diving in.
Well, I've got a degree in software development, so I've dabbled.
So how's Replit? I mean, I wouldn't have thought about using Replit to actually build out a business website.
No.
Are you doing it as an app, or you're building some sort of additional functionality? You're just doing it as just a marketing
simple HTML, CSS. Here I am, static website.
Interesting.
Yeah, well, Rod told me about Replit, and I looked at it, and I watched it build these apps. And these apps a lot of them have frameworks and functionality, but it's also building the HTML and the CSS and designing a page. And I'm like, well, if it can do all of that, why not? I got the files from my website because I was going to rebuild it anyway because I didn't like the responsive. I found a template that the responsive mobile ready looked better than mine, and I was going to rebuild it anyway. And after watching a couple videos of these guys with Replit, I'm like, well, I took my website that's live now, uploaded them to Replit, and
I wanted to go into this template.
I said, I didn't even take this website, make it more modern, make it responsive. And I don't know, I had told it one other thing, and it went and redid everything and took it thought about it for about 15 minutes before it spit it out. I had to make a couple changes, and I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
Cool.
Yeah. Kind of
neat. That's a new application of Replit. I don't think I've heard anybody doing that part. I knew there was I've been dabbling with another one called Gamma.
Yeah.
So Gamma will actually create HTML pages as well.
Okay.
And does a phenomenal job. Bring in images, but it's getting better here. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, I gave the plan to the client.
Yeah.
And it was really cool how it created this step 1, step 2, tied it all together with the airflow and everything. Literally, I didn't type any of this. I had the idea. It did all the bullet points and the boxes. It actually grabbed the photos, and you can go back and change the photos. Website that already has your logos and the concept. And
well, it didn't use any of my logos. It didn't use any of my photos.
Oh, really?
It I didn't even give it the images. I gave it the HTML pages and the CSS.
But it still had the links to all of those images or public on the internet.
Probably could have, but it didn't.
So what did it do? Did it?
I got
provide...
a lot of ocean pictures with fish and scuba divers, and I'll go in and change the photos myself. I mean,
right.
I'm not going to pay the service to do silly stuff that I can do. This was kind of a test to see what it could do. And the content I wrote myself, I'm very biased towards how a wood should be taken care of because I've been doing it so long and I believe the product I use is the best product.
Are you able to tell us what product it is? Or
yeah, it's TWP, Total Wood Protectant. It's a registered wood preservative. It's not a stain.
Preservative.
Yeah. Some of it absorbs into the top surface of the wood. TWP, you put it on until the wood won't take anymore. You're fully absorbing any dry layers of wood. Wood rots because the sun and the weather pull the oils out. The natural oils in wood get pulled out. Wood doesn't rot because of water. It rots because it's lost its oil. It says it's a 2-coat process, and typically it is.
You don't put anything on top of it?
No, it seals itself.
So it's almost kind of like a tung oil, but it's...
it puts the oil back in the wood, but the sealant stays at the surface. You're not coating the wood and leaving a layer on top of the wood. This goes into the wood. It bonds with the fibers of the wood. It doesn't get real brittle.
I have a cedar chair that I built that I want to preserve it.
Yeah.
So you would recommend
TWP,
Total Wood Protection.
Yeah.
Over anything else.
And you're in Florida, you can get it.
There's a TWP and a TWP 1500.
TWP 100 goes on a deck or furniture because it seals, and you're not going to sit down on the chair next week and get oil on yourself. TWP 200 I use on cedar houses, shake roofs, log homes. That oil doesn't ever completely seal. It stays...
sticky?
Not sticky. I mean, you're not going to put your hand on the house and get wet or stain on you. If you were leaning on your house rubbing, you'd probably get a little colorant on your clothes. So I don't recommend rubbing your house with your clothes.
Right. If you put the TWP 200 on it.
Right.
Okay.
Every brand that I have ever looked at preparation, it says remove existing coating. 90% of the products on the market, you need to use a heavy acid. And these are acids that will take the paint off your windows. They will eat the wood if you leave it on too long. They'll eat your skin if you get it on you. TWP has a cleaner that I could take a bath in it. My skin would be really dry and I would want to use some lotion. But it's not going to eat. It's I'm not losing my fingerprints. They make a cleaner that breaks the seal and lets you recoat it. Where Bear, I mean, their stripper is really, really good because they make a really crappy product that they need a good stripper to take it off. But if you splash it on you, get it off as quick as you can because it hurts.
So is there a series of TWP cleaners or just one that works for all their products?
When they got bought out a couple of years ago, they started pushing a hot stripper, and I don't really know why. Besides, maybe they make more money because it's a hot stripper. A hot stripper, you have to neutralize it because it's an acid. You need to neutralize the acid. So you got to put some Tums on your deck. You can seal it after it dries. Safe Strip is what I use, and it'll take off most oil-based sealers, or at least break the seals so the wood can absorb more oil.
Like a tung oil. It could fix my tung oil debacle.
Yeah.
Because I messed up using tung oil, it sounds like.
Well, you put oil in the wood and that's fine, but a tung oil, the wood stays oily. It doesn't seal. It dried at the surface, maybe, but...
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get any on my skin or clothes.
Yeah, well, maybe it absorbed deep enough that you still have a dry layer of wood.
But the very top of my, like the rail, I have like a flat part on the top.
Yeah.
It's all getting silvery. So it's time to do something before it gets too bad, because that's an indicator. The silver is an indicator that
It's dry.
it's dry.
You've got a
and there's no
layer
oil,
of dry wood. Yeah.
and it's going to be susceptible then to mold. What keeps the mold away is the oil in the wood.
Right.
So marketing wise, you're a business, you operate 7 to 8 months a year, and you got plenty of business coming in with your website that's going to be rebuilt with Replit.
I get probably 30-40% new customers from website and word of mouth every year. I get a lot of repeat customers,
What do you do? Do you do anything for SEO? Like, are you writing a blog? Are you posting on social media at all? Or
I hired an SEO company and
oh, here we go. We're going to hear another story.
I didn't realize it because now you can spoof phone numbers, but the guy called me, had a St. Louis number, and I'm like, oh, well, he's from St. Louis. Maybe I'll give it a shot. And it was, I don't remember, 1 month was $1,200 or $1,500. Said, okay, well, we'll try it. And they were supposed to, my Google profile, they were making 4 or 5 posts every week, and they were supposed to fix, because I moved into this subdivision seven years ago, and I haven't gone through the business listings online. You know how it is.
Right.
Try to go and change your address. I mean, you have to go to each one, log in, trying to remember a password from 14 years ago to log into these places and change your your address. So I didn't mess. I think I did the top 10 or 20 of them, and I called it a day. So I've got 2 addresses, and it makes your ranking on Google lower if you have conflicting information.
Verified.
Yeah.
Unverified addresses.
Right. So I paid these guys, it was $12 or $15 or $100, and they were supposed to go and fix all of this. And in my past experience, I've realized that when I went in and changed things, sometimes it didn't show up for a few weeks. So I went into a second month with these guys, and then I started reading the Google profile things that they were posting about my business. And I realized that English was definitely the second language.
Right.
Or maybe third in some cases. I had to let them go. I mean, I noticed that they're telling me you've got all my web traffic went from 150, 200 hits a week to 800 hits a week. And they're telling me all of this.
So where's the 800 hits coming from, though? St. Louis?
I logged into my my host and I went to the stats on all of the web traffic, because it tells you the bots, it tells you the web crawlers, it tells you where these different IPs are from, and 400 or 500 of the hits were from Pakistan. And when the guy's going through the stats, I'm looking at the thing, and he's like, "Yeah, you had 962 hits this week." And I'm like, "Yeah, and look, 730 of them are Pakistan. I don't really do a lot of business there."
I get all those folks reaching out to me too as a marketing agency. And,
yeah.
We'll get you all this traffic and followers and all of this, and you go look at, we'll throw some on for free. I'm like, no, I didn't get, they'll go and do it because they can.
Yeah.
I mean, they can just go out there and put followers on your YouTube account whether you want them to or not. There's nothing preventing them from doing that.
Yeah.
But then you go and look at who these folks are. And like you said, they're from Asia, and it's like, I don't really
doing me a lot of good.
That's not going to do me a lot of good here in the United States.
Yep.
I need US-based followers and engagement, not not even really Europe or Asia.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously as a agency, we could do work with anybody, but it's just, when you add all those extra time zones, this complicates things. I mean, I did have a client in Europe, and it was okay. We were able to do it, but I would probably prefer to have them in the U.S. It really limited the crossover time that I could meet with them.
I don't know. I'd like to do it globally. Yeah. If you need someone to travel and do this for you, I've got like 4 months of the year I can travel.
You can travel 4 months of the year.
Make it somewhere tropical place.
Well, we're trying to figure out what, I'm just racking my brain here, sitting talking with your level of frustration. Like let's say you've got $1,000, $2,000 that you feel like you could budget for a marketing campaign, and you can't say, no, I wouldn't spend it. If you had to spend it today, knowing everything that you've had in the past and all these guys that kind of frankly, in my opinion, I'd call it scammed you. Where could you go and actually feel like you could spend that and get a viable result where you're not working for that other company for that oh, you go spend $2,000 and they get you $2,500 worth of business. I'm like, that's not doing you any good.
I've
Like you could
gotta
spend
say,
$2,000 and you actually get maybe $4,000 to $5,000 worth of business. That would probably be the kind of result you'd be looking for, right? Or maybe even 10,000.
if I was gonna do anything advertising today, it wouldn't be with Yelp, Angie, Google. It wouldn't be online.
It wouldn't be online.
No. I'd go and get a billboard on a busy highway. I would go and buy some yard signs and stick them in the corner or something. And just name recognition is 75% of marketing. If people see your name on a regular basis, that name sticks.
Would you do direct mail? Is that something you feel that would work for you?
Probably would. I don't have anybody because I don't know how legal it was for him to be printing those addresses out for me before, because that's not what that tool, the real estate tool is made for realtors to be able to market at it.
Well, it's interesting is the United States Postal Service has a thing where for this every door delivery.
Yeah.
And so you could take, like sounds like you've definitely had the ability because you have that background. If you could go analyze your database of customers and you could say like on this street right here, you got 5 customers. This is a pretty long street.
Yeah.
And you could rank your streets, you could like, okay, this street, these 20 or 50 streets are the top streets where I have, not just one, but maybe 5 customers on them.
Right.
You could plug those addresses into the postal. It's a free service. You could plug it in there and it'll tell you what postal route that is and how many houses are on that route.
Really?
And it'd even give you a cost factor on how much it would cost to send a postcard.
Wow.
Now, the caveat is on the every door delivery mail, you have to send the postcard to the entire street. Well, but that's what you want. I mean,
when I did it previously, I would get a whole subdivision. So like I would get the name of this subdivision and it would print out every address in this subdivision.
And the difference there, they probably provided it was actually addressed to the homeowner, the actual name.
Yes.
So that you could probably do that, but you'd have to do a little bit of
when I was
enrichment and pay for that kind of data.
When I was doing it previously, you had to buy you could buy a file with a zip code.
Mm-hmm.
And it would list, you could buy just residential, you could buy business and residential. They were different, but it was like one zip code was like $900. And this is 20 years ago.
Right.
What it would have been today. I haven't looked into it.
It's not that much today to enrich that data.
Yeah.
And because you're getting the route from the Postal Service.
Yeah.
They say, okay, this route's got 786 homes. You print off 700, you give them 786 cards, put the cover sheet on it, you drop it off, they charge you the postage, you drop it off at the post office, and they send them out. That could work.
That could be
that sounds like that would be something more traditional. So you're saying for your business, something on the more traditional side. The other thought that I had is social media. Yeah. I'm just curious your opinion on this, and let me just describe my thought on it. You said you did Yellow Pages way back when. Would you say, in your opinion, that maybe having a social media presence with some activity, I don't think it has to be crazy with multiple posts a day. I'm not even sure how many posts a week you need, but it's active. It hasn't, we have a mutual person here, Chuck. He hasn't posted on Instagram since 2020. I don't think if you're going to use it, I don't think you want to wait 5 years between posts. Maybe once a week, maybe once a month.
Yeah.
But something to show that, hey, I'm Brett. I'm still sealing decks. Here's a picture of my latest work that I've done, and you've posted it up there. Do you think that's something that would be relevant in the sense of that's kind of like your Yellow Page ad, right? Somebody goes and looks you up because that's what people do today.
Yeah.
They're going to go check you out. Let me see what Brett's been up to on Instagram. You might not actually, I wouldn't say necessarily that you would get business from that. I don't know if you can actually make that kind of a connection, but they're going to do their research or due diligence and say, oh, yeah, he's still sealing decks. He's still posting his jobs on Instagram, talking about, maybe do a little video talking about the different kinds of sealers that he uses and how he preps the deck and what kind of guarantees he's got, what kind of success stories he's had for his customers. And this is kind of what I would call a yellow page is a 2025,
Right.
the social media. Would you agree with that, or you think I'm off, or what do you think, given your experience that you've had with your business?
I created a Facebook account and a Twitter account. Well, X now, but I've got the Google profile account. Don't think I did an Instagram. I started them because Google started to stay ranked on Google. You had to have a social media account and it had to be somewhat active. And 20 years ago, my page was
First page.
Yeah. I mean, below the sponsored,
Right.
The first three sponsored.
You're up in the top of the organic results.
Yeah, I was in the top 10, and for 3 or 4 years after doing the AdWords, I was number 1 or 2, usually number 2, because for some reason Kennedy Painting is ranked higher than me for deck staining, but I've never met anybody that has their deck stained by them, so I don't know. They're doing something right.
For deck staining.
Yeah.
Show up.
Kennedy
Painting. Do you think that's a viable use of somebody's marketing budget?
I'd say social media is probably be one of the best advertising tools
For that, if anything else, that name recognition.
Yeah.
And then I think for the research, the way I think about it, if I was going to go hire somebody, I'm going to go look at, I'll pull up their website. I'll go look at their social. I would hopefully see some of the work that they've recently done, right? And know that they're kind of active and they're serious. I guess and I'm biased, so that's the reason why I'm asking. I'm biased because this is what I do, right?
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Huh.
So, I feel like you have to show what you do and keep it somewhat. And this is what I do.
I'd say I'd probably get a lot more business if I was active on my social media accounts.
And how active? What is your opinion on what does that activity look like? Is that like once a month, once a week, 3 times a week?
When I started trying to focus on being active in social media, I was trying to post once or twice a week. A picture of a project I was working on, and
that's all it took.
This is.
I would tend to agree with you. I would tend to agree with you. I don't think you have to go crazy 5 times a day or even every day.
I'm not a Kardashian. I'm a deck stainer. So,
like how much deck staining information can I share a day?
This is a cedar deck. This is a tiger wood deck. Hey, this is Ipe. This is the best of the best. It's probably advantageous for any business owner.
Right.
If they can't do it, hire their kids to put a picture up and say something. Just don't call this guy in Pakistan because he's really bad.
I don't know that we talked about Google reviews yet. Have you had an personal experience with Google reviews? And I guess more importantly, a negative Google review.
I've never had a negative review. I don't ask customers for reviews.
Have you looked at your reviews?
Yeah, I've got 5 or 6, I think.
5 or 6. So it's not something you're focused on.
I don't push it. I don't push anything though. When I started my company, I took no money down. I bought the material, I did the work, and I wanted to see a smile on someone's face. Now I have projects that are in the thousands of dollars for material, and for those I get a down payment.
Except from some people.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people you can't really trust, I went in, I did the job right, and then I'd ask for payment.
In all these years, how has that worked out for you?
There's been 2 jobs that I didn't get paid for.
Okay.
One of them was a crazy lady, and I said, I'm done.
Right.
And her husband called and said, well, if you come and do this, I'll pay you. And I told the guy, he's a pastor. He has his own church. I said, you're a man of God. You saw what I did at your house. I said, if you don't want to pay me,
you have to live with it.
You're going to have to answer eventually.
Yeah.
I said, I charged you $500 and I did $2,000 worth of work because your wife was crying and the painter that she hired was an alcoholic and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Sounds like it was better just to walk away and just let that one go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess sounds like you just kind of chalk that up. That's the cost of doing business. Every now and then you're going to have those customers. Sounds like having two experiences over this long career is not too bad, really.
It's not bad. I lost a regular customer because I went and did a job and I got hired to do this part of the deck. I put a whole floor on the deck for them, and now I'm doing more work. They told me to stop, and they needed to have someone fix their chimney because the deck wrapped around the chimney. And I wasn't even supposed to do that part of the deck. So I waited a year for them to get the chimney fixed. I'm calling them and saying, "Are you ready for me to finish this?" And they're like, no, we haven't finished the chimney yet. And I said, "Well, can I get the $500 you still owe me?" And they're like, "Well, you didn't finish." I'm like, "What I was supposed to do is finished."
Right.
I said, "This stuff is extra." And they're like, "Well, if you come and do this." I said, "No, that's not how it's going to work. I've done what I was supposed to do. I stopped when you told me to stop." It was a bad situation. They'd been my customer for 12 years.
Oh, wow.
They weren't every 3 or 4 years. They were more like every 5 or 6 years. So I did their deck 3 times. The third time was because they didn't do it every 3 years, was we had to change all of the floor. It just wasn't worth going and trying to change 12 boards.
Right.
It was to the point where, no, you need to change all the boards. We're going to put treated wood on there because you guys don't take care of it, and you're going to be much better off. But yeah, I told him, I said, if you need the money more than me, then just don't call me. Don't call me back.
More than me. Yeah, don't call me back.
I
think a lot of small business owners have had that.
Yeah.
I had a shop that I had somebody raising Cain about something, and I just told them, I go, "You can just leave. I'm not leaving until whatever." I go, "We've already gave you your money back. And if you don't leave, I'm calling the police. I'm going to trespass you." And they're like, "Well, if that's the way you want to run your business, I'm going to tell all my friends." I go, "Well, if they're like you, make sure you tell all your relatives, all your friends, everybody that you know."
Yes.
Because I don't want them here either.
Right. Exactly.
I don't think they understand. And in my particular business, I was essentially providing a community service.
Right.
Because I didn't make any money. I was in computers like you, and I happened to have a consulting business that was basically paying the rent, paying the salaries, keeping it open.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And, people don't understand that, I liked the business. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed providing the community a service, but it's kind of like this business here. It kind of just broke even, and we were doing good to break even. And, as long as it broke even, we were okay with it. We enjoyed the business. We liked it, but we didn't want to take any BS off of anybody either at the same time.
The first 5 years of my business, that's all I did was broke even. If I didn't lose, because I didn't plan on it being a business, honestly. I was working nights at the casino, making good money, and I did this something to keep
busy.
Something to keep me sane. I got real depressed at the casino because watching these people that had all the fancy jewelry, and all of a sudden, a year later, they're in tore up jeans and no more jewelry. It's like, oh God, you watch the transformation of these people, and they come to you and talk about how you're stealing their kids' college money and stuff. I got real depressed, and
well, you keep coming here and sitting in this chair.
Yeah.
If you'd stop that, you wouldn't be losing the kids' college money.
Yeah, exactly. So I started this working nights at the casino, and it wasn't ever supposed to be a business, but when you stain someone's deck for $300 and the neighbors find out, they're like, "What? Give me his number." So for a few years there, I had customers calling me every 3 years. "Hey,
if you're doing it basically for free."
Back then the stain was $70 for 5 gallons. Now it's $200. So
$200 for 5 gallons.
Oh yeah.
Wow. They're pretty proud of that.
After 9/11, everything.
9/11?
Yeah, the price of oil went back when the when the gas prices went up to
petroleum product.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want your decks to survive, you're relied on petroleum.
Yeah.
It's in everything we do.
The price of TWP in like 2 years went from $90 to like $140. And then it goes up 5 or 10% a year, We're
trying to focus on the marketing. I want to kind of reel it back into that for your business, your type of business. And it's so hard to find your category. They really don't have a category for you. in the ads,
Right.
on the platforms, in the even the Yelps or the Angie's list. They don't really have you classified right.
No one
The
has.
best way to classify yourself would be a traditional
Yeah.
style marketing, whether that's a postcard, a billboard.
Yeah, local.
What about a is there a magazine or like a Val pack? What do you think about that kind of a thing?
I did the Val pack once. It was cheap. They ran some special and it was like $300 and it was supposed to go to 90,000 families or something. And I never got a call or anybody.
The feedback I've talked to a few people on Valpak is that everybody's looking for a discount.
Yeah.
So it's that audience.
I gave a 10% discount.
Right, but it's just they're not looking for if you're offering a premium level service.
Yeah.
Probably not the right audience for you.
Yeah. I'm beyond Valpak. I'm super value.
Super value.
Right.
Yeah. Superior
cedar and deck restoration.
Cedar and deck restoration.
It's a long name, you know. When for the check, you just put superior, and my bank's cool with that.
Okay. So I'll throw a Replit link in there, so folks will get a $10 credit. So I'll get $10, and you would get $10 if you pay, I guess, for the first $25 month of Replit. If you guys want to try out, I've been really happy. The thing I found to save some credits was using ChatGPT, and in your case, you're saving credits because you're taking an existing website and the existing template and mixing it in. So there's some ideas, so you don't just burn through your $35 for the credits.
Yeah.
So nice job on the deck.
Thank you,
Brad.
sir. Thank you.
And actually, you did the fence too, I think.
And the fence is the 200 series.
That's the 200 series that you were talking about.
Yeah. And we did a custom color to try to get it closer to the deck color, but I think we might have put a little extra brown in it.
And then you had a little, just real quick, I know you had a sample there. What is the sample?
This is the product I use, TWP.
So there's a TWP, and it's got the different colors. And then you can do a custom color. I guess you can do a mix of these.
It's going to be hard to replicate the custom color every time you do it. So I would try to find a color that you're happy with and
just go for it.
Yeah.
Is there a color that you feel like the customers typically go to when you're doing the jobs, or is it just a mix?
That's your traditional cedar tone that you've
hold that. This
is
kind of like the go-to.
Yeah.
And then this would be the redwood, or is this the redwood? This one's redwood.
Yeah.
Is that rank up there?
No, that's garbage.
And then anything else? What
pecan, yeah. That's this deck is pecan now.
So this is kind of the other one, just for reference. At least that's Brett's experience and his customer base.
When they didn't have pecan, we were mixing the cedar tone and the dark oak to get this effect.
Okay.
Because the cedar tone was a little more orange.
Too much orange.
And
I like this. This is nice.
Yeah, when they made pecan, I think they added more orange to the cedar tone because
they made it even more orange.
It's hard to tell the difference between pecan and cedar tone.
Oh, okay.
I mean, even me, I've been looking at it my whole life, and a freshly done pecan deck, if it's not really old wood and absorbing a lot of the color, it's hard to tell the difference. They're very similar as far as how the grain looks through the color. I think they added a little more orange in the cedar tone to make them a little further from being almost the same color. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for a seasonal business like yours, when do you start kind of picking up the requests to get on the calendar? Is that January, February, March, or is it more like April and May before Memorial Day, maybe? Or
it depends on people's personalities. I get people that call me in January, February, and start doing estimates with snow on the ground because they want to be first. So you have the first mentality. You have the people that wake up one day and realize it's the middle of summer, they better get it done. And so those are the people that like to watch me suffer. And then you've got
90-degree heat.
Then you've got the people that
they're inside drinking their iced tea and cold beer, and Brett's out on the deck just sweating.
Now, this is Labor Day weekend. This week, I will start getting the procrastinators, the ones that need it done right now. My season is probably pretty booked for the season.
So you're good till the temperature drops below 60.
50.
Oh, 50.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I typically do 55 because if if you wake up and it's going to be 50 today, it's going to be 50 for an hour. I need a deck like this. I need 4 hours to stain it.
Minimum.
Yeah. So I need to.
And then you need another, what, couple of hours after that even, right?
Well, typically if I can keep the oil warm before I get to the job and then it gets warm enough.
So you keep it climate controlled so you have that oil warm.
Right. I mean, not boiling oil.
Well, no, but if you have it in your house.
We're not medieval.
Yeah, if you have it if you have it in your house, it's at 60, 70 degrees versus 50 out in the garage.
Yeah.
So I guess you just take the 5-gallon bucket and just leave it in the house overnight.
I'll bring in a couple 5-gallon buckets and leave them inside. And fall and spring is tough. I mean, I can't start working until 10, 11 o'clock, and I need to be done by 4 o'clock
before it starts cooling off.
Right.
Well, you've heard it. If you're in St. Louis and you need cedar, is it just cedar or it's any wood?
Any wood.
Any wood deck. You need it clean, sealed, and restored. Brett's your guy.
For sure.
Call him up. Get a quote. We'll have your website. Can you tell us your website and your phone number? It's
superiorcedarstl.com. And the phone number is 314-276-8836.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Brett.
Thank you.
Thanks
Good to meet you.
Today.